Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we explore an extraordinary piece of numismatic history that has left collectors in awe, enthusiasts scratching their heads, and investors absolutely spellbound. The 1994 D1-cent coin, a seemingly innocuous piece of currency that is now valued at an astounding $345 million due to its stunning errors and mistakes that have turned a simple penny into a financial phenomenon. Yes, you heard that correctly. This remarkable coin holds a value that many would equate with legendary treasures, and the story behind its meteoric rise unfolds with thrilling intricacy, capturing the fascination of anyone drawn to all things unique in the realm of collecting. So let's delve into the curious circumstances surrounding this most unusual coin, examining what makes it so valuable and the captivating errors that determine its legendary status in history. The saga begins in 1994, a year marked by significant cultural and financial transitions, ethos shifts, and technological progress. The US Mint, buzzing with activity and motivated by the continuous demand for coinage, sought to produce a steady supply of 1-cent coins to meet consumer needs. However, during the minting process, an astonishingly rare combination of errors took place that would ultimately lead to an immense valuation that ignited fervor in the numismatic community. The 1994 D coin, minted in Denver, became a canvas of mistakes, blending happenstance with creativity to create an unprecedented rareness that would mystify experts for decades to come. The story of this coin is not merely one of fortune but rather a tapestry woven from a series of errors that layered upon themselves, crafting a narrative ripe for investigation. Initially, one of the most significant features setting this coin apart was its unexpected doubling effect, an error known in numismatic circles as double die. It occurs when the coin is struck twice by the dies, misaligning itself in the process. This particular coin was produced as part of the larger series of 1-cent coins but with an unforeseen flaw that caused the inscriptions and images on its surface to exhibit remarkable dual impressions, giving them a blurry and distorted appearance. Such a misprint inherently raises its desirability among collectors, who commonly seek out coins that have undergone errors or anomalies, yet the doubling effect was not the only issue at play here. Coin enthusiasts examine not just the design elements but also the intrinsic qualities of the coin itself. The metallurgical makeup and refinement process come into play, and another mistake during minting resulted in extensive variations in the thickness of the coin and inconsistencies in its weight. These variances, combined with the unique visual impact of the double die, evoked curiosity that sparked much discussion among collectors about the narrative behind this penny. The 1994 D penny was not made of the traditional 95% copper and 5% zinc blend commonly found in that era but experienced unintentional alterations in the composition that affected its overall quality and affected its performance within the machine pressing process. This inconsistency in materials not only adds to its backstory but also creates boundless possibilities for how values can change within any single type of coin. Within certain circles, this added variable transforms the status of the coin, making it not just a collectible item but an essential piece of history encapsulating the principles of chance, ambiguity, and the surprise elements within our monetary systems. Alarmingly, it wasn't only these surface-level errors that played a role in increasing its worth but also the profound implications around how many of these coins were released into circulation. It is reported that only a few specimens of the flawed 1994 D coins managed to escape the relentless scrutiny of the minting quality controls that defined the industry standards, rendering it exceptionally rare and coveted. Each discovery generated excitement, cultivating a competitive spirit among collectors eager to get their hands on one of these elusive coins, driving the demand well beyond standard market principles. The sheer scarcity became intertwined with a story of aspiration that captured the imaginations of those drawn to find fortune in the unlikeliest of places. These are the tales that elevate what, at first glance, seems like the token of childhood nostalgia into something that carries not just monetary wealth but broader cultural significance. As collectors spun tales of their own quests for the ultimate find, they increased interest and thus stimulated market demand across a variety of groups. Suddenly, this particular mint era transformed into a touchstone for aspiring collectors, leading them to navigate the intricate world of rarities, discover artifacts that tell personal stories, and rekindle connections to their past. Within this context, the emotional weight of the 1994 D coin resonated as much as its financial implications, establishing an entire community formed around the excitement of profitability and nostalgia. However, even greater complexities arise within the heart of the 1994 D coin's valuation, as the market proved reliant not only on the sheer existence of these coins but also the journey that collectors would undertake to acquire them. Every penny that made it to circulation followed a unique path, and various specimens emerged through different routes, each adding its own drama that reframed the narrative of the individual coin, a journey that might include being discovered by an unsuspecting child or dusted off from a forgotten drawer decades later. The rich and layered history could elevate a coin from obscurity to high value, depending on its condition and the story attached to its provenance. Collectors come to appreciate that each transaction involving these coins mutates their values further, as stories shift and narratives reshape how people view their worth. Thus, the 1994 D coin has become a magnet for discussions surrounding the shifting paradigms of economy and valuation systems in a world where rarity practically defines desirability, no longer strictly limited to what materialistic values dictate, but entwined with the larger narratives about aspiration, struggle, and digital age connections that propel a growth mindset in terms of exchanging value in a constantly evolving economy, where illusion can become reality through dreams transformed into tangible wealth. The tale spirals into a deeper exploration of how subjective interpretation around value continues to flourish, with the added impact of social media amplifying discussions that move into unexplored territories of strategic investing. The 1994 D1 era coin captures the imagination in ways that are unprecedented. It serves as a prime example of how modern technology elevates discourse in the collecting sphere, enabling testimonies, verification processes, and social circles that surround these phenomenal finds. Suddenly every penny seems brimming with potential, each a look into the atmospheric entanglements of rarity and ambition that not only increase monetary value but also beckon existential questions about what it means to find joy, reap reward, and build community around pursuits that illuminate our shared humanity. As the valuation on such coins piqued interest, new frameworks emerged, varieties of trade and exchange, an emphasis on branding within collecting, and even the growth of online marketplaces transcending traditional coin shops that previously dominated the landscape. The 1994 D coin epitomizes how tradition and progress interweave, compelling experts and neophytes alike to challenge their understanding of what currency implies within their lives while shifting narratives around the living history that coins can encapsulate. This unique piece of currency invites wide-ranging exploration on how financial systems intersect with human experiences, challenging everyone involved to reconsider preconceived notions surrounding currency and to embrace the stories they embody. The life of the 1994 D coin cannot be separated from the broader discussions surrounding the economization of everyday existence. Thus its trajectory serves as a metaphoric prism where each facet refracts the underlying desires driving human behavior. Whether it is the allure of owning a rare collector's item, the experience of community that forms around searching for treasures, or participating in the thrill of auctions and markets that have been elevated by digital streaming and analytics. The events surrounding this coin interlace beautifully with narratives of ambition that challenge how worth is determined. Beyond these financial transactions lies an inherent motivator rooted in a fundamental human need to engage in stories, to flourish through the chase, and to embrace every potential for connection while partaking in the thrill of finding what was once lost to history. Therefore, as we reflect on the awe-inspiring journey of the 1994 D1 coin, we grasp its transformation from a mere piece of currency into a monumental reminder that encapsulates ambition, aspiration, and risk, and that sometimes, great treasure lies within the tiniest of objects, waiting silently for those audacious enough to seek it out. Venture into your own coin collection, explore, engage, and like and subscribe to our channel for even more riveting stories that will deepen your appreciation for the world of numismatics. And who knows, you may find the next remarkable era coin waiting in your pocket, on your desk, or even in that jar of loose change that has long gone forgotten. Let the journey of discovery continue as we unearth stories of brilliant individuals. Next, 1975 1-cent USA coin. We delve deep into the fascinating world of numismatics, exploring the captivating stories behind some of the most intriguing coins in history. Today, we have an incredible tale to share with you about a seemingly ordinary 1-cent coin from 1975, a piece of currency that transcended its humble beginnings to become a remarkable example of rarity and value, ultimately fetching an unbelievable price of $300 million due to a series of extraordinary errors and mistakes that transformed it into a coveted treasure for collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike. This remarkable story is not just about the monetary worth of a simple penny, but it's also about the rich tapestry of chance, history, and human connection woven together by this tiny artifact, which has become a symbol of aspiration, curiosity, and the relentless pursuit of hidden fortunes. So buckle up as we take you on a thrilling journey through the complexities surrounding the 1975 1-cent coin, the errors it embodies, the implications for those involved in its discovery, and the broader impact it has had on the numismatic community. The story begins in 1975, a pivotal year in U.S. history marked by significant cultural and economic shifts, alongside the ongoing evolution of the U.S. Mint and its practices, as the country grappled with the after-effects of inflation and the shifting landscape of coin production. The Mint worked diligently to churn out a steady supply of coins for circulation, reflecting both modern needs and aesthetic sensibilities of the time. However, in the midst of this industrious backdrop, a remarkable series of minting errors took place, setting the stage for the coin's astonishing path toward becoming an extraordinary artifact, forever altering the fate of those fortunate enough to cross its path. Among the many coins produced that year, a few emerged with imperfections that would soon embroil them in a web of intrigue, propelling them into the limelight and gaining traction as treasures that would go down in history. While it is common for coins to carry minor flaws from the minting process, the particular mistakes surrounding the 1975 1-cent coin were not only noticeable but also transformative, elevating them from just a circulating piece of currency to collectibles of immense value. One of the most significant errors was the well-documented double die phenomenon that occurred during the minting of the 1975 1-cent coins. Double die errors happen when a coin is struck by the minting die more than once, causing images and inscriptions to appear blurred and out of alignment. In the case of the 1975 1-cent, the error resulted in distinctly visible overlaps in the lettering and designs, lending a unique character that captured the attention of collectors. This particular flaw, the dual impression of the Liberty and "In God We Trust" inscriptions, would serve as the defining characteristic of these coins, drawing in enthusiastic collectors eager to document, share, and trade their findings within specialized circles. With collectors keenly searching for coins featuring double die errors, the value attributed to such pieces tends to skyrocket, as scarcity becomes a defining factor in their worth. So with the simultaneous production of standard 1975 1-cent coins, the double die error variants quickly established themselves as exceptional finds, increasing their desirability and cementing their reputation as coveted artifacts. However, the double die phenomenon alone does not account for the astonishing valuation derived from the 1975 coin, which also encompasses a variety of additional fascinating factors that contribute to its financial implications. In addition to the double die error, the composition of the coin itself, marked by inconsistencies rooted in the various materials used during the minting process, adds layers of complexity to the narrative. During the mid-1970s, the U.S. Mint began experimenting with different metallic compositions to counteract rising costs associated with materials during a period of high inflation. Beginning in the late 1960s, the Mint shifted away from predominantly copper coins toward alternative combinations, which often resulted in a diminution of quality and performance. The 1975 1-cent coin is emblematic of this period, as it was designed using a composition that included copper, zinc, and other metals, while minor mistakes slipped through the quality control cracks amidst this transition. Such inconsistencies, whether they pertain to variations in thickness, weight, or even metallic shine, continued to enhance the allure of the coin, inviting discussions among collectors about the various implications of these phenomena. This nuanced conversation surrounding the minting techniques and their context creates an ever-expanding dialogue that propels the coin into rarefied air defined by its aesthetic allure, deeper implications, and market trends illuminating patterns of demand and valuation shifts. The 1975 1-cent coin's voyage to worth becomes accentuated through this multifaceted exploration of coins that, despite their humble beginnings, carry the power to elicit profound reflections not solely on currency itself but on societal attitudes and practices at large. With each discovery of the double-die 1975 1-cent coin, collectors grew more fevered, seeking accurate grading and authentication to establish the coin's legitimacy and ascertain their values. Alongside the double-die variety lurked countless additional pieces that donned other minor defects, mistakes, or irregularities that made them equally worthy of examination. Among small batches that surfaced, many exemplified minting inaccuracies related to misalignment or strange impressions that resulted from mechanical failures. These unforeseen errors led to the creation of coins that were not only distinct in their design but deeply rooted in a narrative exploring the intersection of human artistry, machinery, and fortuitous happenstance. Collectors have come to appreciate these aspects of the 1975 1-cent coin, which represent far more than mere currency. They embody rich storytelling woven throughout decades of shared experiences and dreams, detailing the canny pursuits of those who have scoured their collections for misplaced pennies with grand aspirations of striking gold amidst the seemingly ordinary. The buzz surrounding these coins reverberated beyond traditional collector networks as the marketplace caught wind of the sensational narrative, heralding this coin as a coveted must-have piece for both novice and seasoned hands. The rise of digital platforms and social media led to an exponential increase in the potential buyers, sellers, and enthusiasts eager to get involved, sharing tales etched in excitement that transformed the entire collecting ecosystem. As excitement grew, savvy investors and astute collectors began packaging stories around their purchases. Each sale and exchange birthed new myths, enhancing the drama associated with the coin's provenance while creating a virtuous cycle of increasing interest and value that lent itself to financial implications not previously seen amongst its peers. Those who found themselves with a 1975 1-cent coin in their collection suddenly held more than just a piece of currency. They possessed a narrative steeped in serendipity, ambition, and hope infused deeply with every quest for hidden treasures. The broader implications informing a legacy around the 1975 1-cent now touch a spectrum of discussions spanning economics, the psychology of collection, and the impact of storytelling that bleeds into every corner of human experience. The shimmering allure of possibility served as the nucleus around which cultural exploration swirled, connecting everyday people in pursuit of grandeur. Through the prism of collecting and investing, it indeed transformed from being a simple pastime into diverse ventures stimulating communal connections that stretched across generations. The deeper implications embedded in this pursuit force us, as participants in the great dance of human aspiration, to confront what motivates us and curate a meaningful narrative around wealth beyond mere accumulation, framing how human emotions often influence and guide our decisions in ways previously unexpected and unspoken. As communities formed around the enigmatic allure of the 1975 1-cent coin, conversations sprouted that built treasured relationships among collectors and enthusiasts who shared their insights, experiences, and practical knowledge. Countless stories revealed the personal triumphs and subsequent failures inherent within the paths taken, where chance encounters led individuals to fame and fortune or served as cautionary tales illustrating the unpredictability of collecting. Yet, within this fascinating network, a great sense of camaraderie emerged, rooted in shared goals and ambitions while weaving a much larger tapestry illustrating the delicate balance between monetary worth and the deeper human connection cultivated through shared interests. Every coin tells a story, but the journey of what the 1975 1-cent coin embodies illustrates how life, dreams, and aspirations converge through the lens of economic transactions, building bridges that connect distant lives and outline the shapes of relationships. As these nuances unfold, the 1975 1-cent coin invites us all to embrace the beauty of connection in our pursuits, transforming a casual habit into something profoundly meaningful. So, as we conclude this thrilling exploration of the 1975 1-cent coin that now carries a value of $300 million due to its rare errors and remarkable journey, we invite you to reflect on your own experiences with coins, collecting, and the stories that may lie hidden in your pockets or collections, perhaps lurking within your change. Next, 1996 D1-cent USA coin. Today we will take an exhilarating journey into the world of rare coins and uncover the fascinating and often astonishing history behind a specific piece of currency that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike, the 1996 D1-cent coin, which holds an incredible valuation of $120 million, thanks to a unique concatenation of minting errors and mistakes that transformed this humble penny into a coveted artifact of immense financial significance. While it may seem strange that a coin with a face value of just 1 cent could somehow be worth a sum that rivals the GDP of small countries, the anomalies and serendipitous errors surrounding the 1996 D penny provoke thought and reflection about the nature of value, rarity, and the delightful surprises buried within the mundane. So let's dive into the remarkable tale of this extraordinary coin, discussing the specific errors that arose during its minting process, the implications of those mistakes, and what makes it so desirable, all while exploring the broader impact such coins can have within the world of numismatics. Our story begins in 1996, a year that was rich with transformations and cultural shifts across the United States. The U.S. Mint was operating at full capacity to produce 1-cent coins, providing enough currency for the nation, yet behind the precision of their machinery, an unexpected series of errors began to unfold that would forever alter the fates of this particular variety of coin. Though the mint was known for its meticulous processes, there was a fateful alignment of circumstances that saw flaws take shape, setting the stage for an artifact that would intrigue aspiring collectors and experts alike for decades to come. Countless 1-cent coins would be produced that year, but only a handful would contain the imperfections necessary to command attention and sky-high prices, thus paving the way for the 1996 D to enter the annals of coin collecting lore. One of the most telling mistakes that resulted in the extraordinary value of the 1996 D coin was a rare occurrence of a double die error, which arises when a coin is struck more than once but misaligned in the process. The recognition of this particular variety of error is crucial, as it generates higher demand among collectors, eager to own a piece that stands apart from its contemporaries. In the case of the 1996 D 1 cent, this coin was struck with notable doubling in the inscriptions and designs, causing not only shadowy distortions in the lettering but also visually captivating shifts in the faces of Lincoln and the memorial on the reverse. The depth and clarity of these errors immediately drew interest and fascination from collectors who recognized the swirling aura of rarity that stemmed from such anomalies within the minting process. Here, a single coin told a story of serendipity, artistry, and a strikingly unique identity against a backdrop of uniformity that typically characterizes most contemporary coins. The appeal of the 1996 D double die era lies in how those imperfect impressions elevate it into the pantheon of highly sought-after collectibles, as collectors are ever on the lookout for coins that reveal the quirks inherent to their creation process. Yet, the sheer presence of the double die era is only a part of what drives the powerful narrative of the 1996 D 1 cent coin. The composition utilized in its construction during a time of shifting materials also plays a sizable role in determining its worth. The mid-1990s marked an ongoing transition for the U.S. Mint, as modernization initiatives sought to create cost-effective solutions in minting processes. Thus, the materials used in the production of the 1 cent coin began to incorporate higher quantities of zinc, thereby altering its physical properties. Such experimentation with composition contributes a layer of complexity around these coins, affecting their texture and overall appearance. The transformation of the geometric and aesthetic qualities, born out of an experimentation with how metal purity fluctuated alongside evolving economic climates, ultimately set the stage for intriguing conversations about how collectors value coins, considering not only their visual impact but also their material significance. In the end, This arrangement invites discussions centering on how changes in manufacturing processes can lead to artifacts possessing distinguishable personalities transcending mere currency. Thus, the intriguing implications of alloy manipulation alongside the pressing errors can reshape the narrative surrounding the 1996 D coin into something more profound, making it not only a collectible but a historical touchstone reflecting an evolving society. Furthermore, the mortality rate of the 1996 D 1-cent coin offers yet another layer to this captivating tale of value. As the myths surrounding this coin grew, the captivating notion arose that only a minuscule quantity of these exceptional struck variations would have escaped the highly regulated environment of the US Mint, enhancing their appeal as discoveries akin to hidden treasure. The scarcity of these coins accentuated by the unique doubling errors and overall imperfections encapsulates a mind-bending fervor that stimulates enthusiasm among collectors and investors. Inherently tied to the very rarity of surviving specimens is a dynamic dance between demand and availability that fuels the emotional allure wrapped around this penny. As rumors and speculation of the remaining stock circulated within both online and offline spaces, collectors engaged in fervent quests to locate these practically mythical coins, reminiscent of treasure hunters combing through chests to unearth precious relics. Amidst these tales of discovery became the fantasy of finding a needle in a haystack, alluring those ranging from casual players to die-hard enthusiasts eager to stretch their fortunes beyond what previously seemed possible. The mere thought of encountering a 1996 D 1-cent coin propagated an almost spiritual connection formed through the pursuit, cementing the desire to engage deeply within a community bound by shared ambition and skin-in-the-game aspirations. Exploring the impact of the 1996 D 1-cent coin on individual collectors also opens the door to understanding how such a singular artifact can reshape lives and guide those who embark on their own personal quests for hidden wealth and meaning. Consequently, stories emerged heralding miraculous findings, transforming ordinary interactions with currency into tales of extraordinary discovery, creating dialogue that captured the very essence of human ambition, the thrill of an unexpected windfall, and the poignant reflection of how chance encounters can evoke dramatic effects on one's existence. With each story told through the lens of discovery surrounding the 1996 D coin, potential iterations of success narratives began to swirl around thousands of individuals looking for a piece of history waiting patiently in hidden corners of drawers and jars. Every notable find building on the frenzy surrounding this remarkable coin while further solidifying its unique identity amongst vast networks of depositories and enthusiasts. As community members shared their own adventures, deep connections began to blossom, bridging friendships forged through quests for tiny yet potent artifacts that ultimately represent so much more than mere chunks of metal. This springboard effect instills community values and creates an emotional tether that elevates mentality from individual pursuit towards deeper connections based on shared understanding and respect for the journeys undertaken. The broader discussions around the financial implications of the 1996 D 1-cent coin echo narratives that transcend personal ambition. As diverse collectors and enthusiasts navigated the complexities surrounding valuation, many adopted innovative approaches to understanding rarity while incorporating strategies into investments contrary to mainstream reasoning. Those drawn to this coin found themselves not only investing in a tangible piece of numismatic history but also entering a grander conversation about the esoteric nature of value generation, timelessness, and their impacts on economic systems. This interplay prompts curious questions that challenge our understandings of wealth and align our human experiences with broader societal reflections. Indeed, in navigating this dynamic matrix, the community that formed around the 1996 D coin encourages conversations centered on collective understanding and exploration far extending beyond individual motivations, imbuing the very act of collecting with an intrinsic value devoid of mere financial parameters. Often engaged in informal meetups or online forums, discussions unveil intricate layers involving minting history, market fluctuations, and personal anecdotes that breathe life into what can sometimes be perceived as mundane pursuits surrounding the 1-cent coin. Instead, these interactions enrich the entire experience, drawing relationships among coins and collectors while fostering bonds that highlight the expansive web of shared narratives threading through coins as artifacts. representing individual journeys that echo in the annals of history. Of course, the heightening allure of the coin has triggered not just excitement but also competition. In the race to obtain a 1996 D1 cent with its pristine errors, many individuals host auction battles and trading events, transforming the largely informal realm of coin collecting into one echoing with strategic thought and methodological engagement. As bids rise and negotiations evolve, collectors navigate through intricate layers of protocol and emotional connections, blending strategy with passion. This dance turns coin collecting into an immersive experience. Last 1987 1-cent USA coin. Today, we are diving into an astounding tale about a particular 1-cent coin minted in 1987, a seemingly ordinary piece of currency that has achieved unbelievable fame and value due to a remarkable series of errors and mistakes, leading to an astonishing valuation of $324 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny worth hundreds of millions of dollars. This rare coin is not just a financial curiosity, it embodies a rich narrative of error, chance, and the unpredictable nature of collecting, weaving together stories that captivate our yearning for discovery and fortune. As we delve deeper into the specific errors that made this coin so valuable, we will uncover the myriad possibilities of what such rare pieces symbolize within the realm of collectible items, revealing the profound impact these coins have on the economy, industry, and collectors' dreams. Our journey begins in the bustling year of 1987, a pivotal period in the United States marked by a fluctuating economy and significant cultural transformations. The U.S. Mint replicated the familiar aspects of coin production while simultaneously dealing with complications stemming from production demands, procedural shifts, and material adjustments. The coin that evolved during this tumultuous landscape was not just an ordinary tenacious penny, but a piece of history forged through a serendipitous blend of misalignment and mistakes, which ultimately creates something extraordinary. While hundreds of millions of 1-cent coins were minted that year, only a collectible few emerged from the roaring machines that exquisitely highlighted the errors inherent in their designs. One of the most crucial errors that affixed itself to the 1987 1-cent coin was a striking case of a double die effect, a phenomenon that occurs when a coin is struck multiple times, leading to impressions of letters, numbers, and designs appearing inaccurately, with a ghost-like quality, giving the coin an entirely unique aesthetic that quickly distinguishes it from its flawlessly minted counterparts. In the case of the 1987 coin, this double die error not only resulted in misaligned details around the Liberty and "In God We Trust" inscriptions but also created vibrancy and uniqueness that collectors craved. The shift of letters and soft halos around Lincoln's profile made these coins treasures of extraordinary charm and inexplicable beauty that enthusiasts were eager to own. Alongside the excitement of finding such a piece came the knowledge that only a minuscule fraction of this specific variety would exist, stirring fervor that propelled demand to heights previously unseen in the world of numismatics, where the prospect of finding a rare error coin had often led collectors to adventure, determination, and close-knit community bonds. Alongside the double die era, a fascinating interplay of alloy inconsistencies and minting mishaps characterized the production of the 1987 1 cent, further complicating and enriching its story. During this period, the U.S. Mint experienced challenges surrounding metal composition in the quest to maintain cost-effective solutions amid rising material prices and the pressures of economic fluctuations, pushing them to introduce changes that altered the physical elements blending the familiar copper and zinc mixes with an experimental touch that resulted in unexpected variances. This interplay positioned collectors to examine aesthetic and tactile differences among appearances, textures, and characteristics stemming from various pressing techniques and temperature variances during the alloying process, intensifying an already unique pursuit as they sought pieces that represented far more than mere currency but threads connecting them to history and society. Thus, the 1987 1 cent became a canvas, each imperfection and unintentional alteration lending it a narrative complexity and shimmering allure that elicited curiosity and connection from the grounds of ordinary production to the peaks of extraordinary collecting. As the tales of discovery surrounding the 1987 1 cent coin unfolded, we need to explore the vital context regarding the sheer scarcity of these minting anomalies. Even as several coins emerged from the minting process, experts estimate that only a handful would survive in circulation, enabling collectors to begin a thrilling treasure hunt searching for these remarkably rare pieces. The nature of coin collecting thrives upon such narratives threaded into each transaction, igniting passion. Alongside the urgency of potential finds that culminated in gripping performances at auctions and trading events, the notion of unearthing one of the famed era coins sends collectors into a whirlwind of excitement, an anticipation akin to that of explorers unearthing hidden treasure. This scarcity serves to elevate each piece's status, transforming it from a mere instrument of commerce into the stuff of legends that inspire magic in the everyday, as a palpable sense of commotion reverberated. Within the numismatic circles, coins that once circulated in obscurity now stepped into the spotlight, striving to be cherished artifacts amongst vibrant communities that not only appreciated their aesthetics but celebrated their historical significance. Collectors soon recognized that within the stories of rarity and prosperity lay intrinsic reflections of dreams, hopes, and aspirations connected to the pursuit of the fantastical. Those fortunate enough to possess a 1987 1-cent coin quickly discovered its potent potential power, as art, history, and finance intermixed through conversations that darted from collectors' gatherings to online forums wherein like-minded individuals strategized, shared stories, and nurtured relationships bonded by a common desire to uncover, appreciate, and mobilize their figurative potential. When a single coin holds such a compelling narrative, it invites an entire community to participate and intersect in ways that extend beyond traditional economics, urging individuals to reflect on broader themes related to value, the allure of the unexpected, and humanity's innate impulse to connect through shared endeavors. As dynamic exchanges unfold and dreams intertwine, the pursuit of the rare coin animates collectorship through the vein of nostalgia, adventure, and hope. In this context, coins like the 1987 1-cent illuminate the motivations driving collectors forward, inciting them to seek tangible representations of their aspirations, until they turn from the material into something far deeper. Every individual search uncovers possibilities entwined with humility, ambition, and stories they share along the way, prompting players within the community to honor both personal journeys and collective ambitions while acknowledging new perspectives that blossom from their experiences. As the excitement around the 1987 1-cent coin continued to grow, we witnessed a palpable shift in the conversation surrounding its valuation. The marketplace embarked on a journey characterized by the convergence of interests, leading to varied discussions on how scarcity, condition, and market dynamics shape perceptions surrounding collectibles. The allure of the 1987 coin became not merely an isolated phenomenon. Instead, it precipitated broader discussions about economic principles and value-driven frameworks that could apply to any collectible item, transforming them into cultural touchstones reflective of human aspirations. Within the matrix of supply and demand, the 1987 1-cent induced a movement characterized by exploration, interaction, and engagement well beyond traditional expectations guiding the financial securities realm. As collectors raced against one another in pursuit of these elusive treasures, they opened doors to strategic frameworks commanding a careful cultivation of relationships, knowledge, and experience, bridging gaps between the demanding nuances of collecting and the building of emotional connections inherently tied to the experience of acquiring finely crafted pieces of culture that resonate with their embedded narratives while navigating thrilling avenues that champion dreams and deepen our appreciation for history. Exploring the implications surrounding the collectible culture woven around the 1987 1-cent coin leads us toward understanding how we construct stories not only around individual coins but also our relationships with financial elements throughout history. Indeed, it propels us to examine the concept of worth and how the non-monetary aspects serve as powerful touchstones in sharing our historical journeys, evoking connections everywhere and elevating narratives to newfound heights. Throughout these interactions depicting the quest for treasure, participants readily acknowledge that they dwell within a shared experience that expands beyond common pursuits for wealth. These narratives embolden the transformative power of coin collecting, entwining participants within a communal framework that reverberates with emotional resonance and helps fortify relationships grounded in tradition and innovation alike. Within this vibrant atmosphere, minds open wider, providing unparalleled opportunities for growth and exploration through user-generated wisdom and the crystallization of what it feels to share endeavors, embrace curiosity, and delight in the sights of extraordinary connections. Thus, with each encounter, exchanges open avenues leading to uncharted territories, experiences charged with personal meanings where brief moments solidify friendships and connections while clearer understandings are forged with every coin that passes from hand to hand.